Never get caught halfway, right? Always working on full animorph.
Don't stay in the eagle too long. All right.
Yeah.
Never go half animorph. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Content Mill. My name is Gianni. Welcome to the show where four creators from four corners of the internet all get together to talk about what we are playing and what we are making. With me today are my amazing co-host, starting over here somewhere. It's in one of these corners. Nate, Heroic Headgear. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling pretty good. I've gotten in some Battlefield gameplay already, and I'm feeling good today.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Phil, Mr. 70% complete. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. I have spent the past 8 hours definitely doing my job and not making weird paper cutouts for a video project. So doing good.
Oh man.
And not turning into anamorphing into a fish.
Hey, I mean, never get caught halfway, right? Always working on full animorph.
Don't stay in the eagle too long. All right.
Yeah.
Never go half animorph. And last but not least, Eric, Mr. The Human. How are you doing today, Eric?
I'm good. I was a little tired, but I'm good. I'm talk about video games. That's fun.
We're rejuvenated. This is a rejuvenation for us. You know what I mean? It's been a couple of weeks since we saw each other. So I'm glad we're all together today to talk about games. Today, we're going to have an interesting one. We're going to be talking about 2025. It's a stacked year. It's arguably one of the best years in gaming in a very, very long time. We've had 100%. So many games come out. So today we are going to be jumping into what we're looking forward to for the rest of the year. And because there's not too much time left in the rest of the year, we're getting to this a little bit late. But I do want to also talk about what we're looking forward to getting back to at the end of the year, because as everybody knows, the end of the year, that's peak backlog season. So I want to jump into our backlogs a little bit, talk about what's still to come. But before I get into that, I don't have too much housekeeping. Normally, this is where we do our housekeeping, our run of the mill. I don't have too much for you. This is episode 5 of the Content Mill. Obviously, we launched our new podcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on all digital streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You guys know the drill, the Content Mill podcast. But I did want to let you guys know a little bit about our Discord. I'm going to pass it to Eric, who has so graciously made a home for us on the corner of the internet. Eric, can you talk to the people about what is going on over on Discord and why they should hop on over there?
What isn't going on in the corner of the internet Discord? There are everything from book recommendations based off of your favorite games. There are French conversations that randomly pop up. There is an endless amount of white dogs that are posted in the pet corner all the time. I think one was literally just posted right now. And there's tons of game discussion. And then, of course, on top of that, there's just our content, right? The other stuff that can keep you there. But there's tons of things going on all the time. There's going to be tons of stuff with like Short Game Long Talk, my other show, going on pretty soon. We're hitting our Game of the Year season very soon. So there's going to be a lot of audience participation. There's going to be audience participation in the future with this show. There's tons of different things. You want to get sneak peeks of like what the hell Phil is working on, which he alluded to briefly about making cutouts for things. Or you can just see me post clips almost immediately after I'm done streaming, because I post early clips that of me getting absolutely bodied by a boss in Bloodborne. So there's tons of different things.
Don't lie, Eric. Bodied by the boss. Get out of here, buddy.
I posted the clip.
No, you did. That is true.
I fought Rom 9 times. I haven't done that in so long. But
that's true.
Yes, there's tons of things going on in the Discord. Check the show notes below. Follow the link. Come join us. Find your own corner. There's literally constantly things going on in there. So it's a cool place.
And if you're too lazy to check the show notes, that's cody.pika.page is what houses all of those links as well, correct?
Yes, you got all that stuff, and it's updating all the time. I feel like I'm at max capacity for like having content creators, but I'm like, let's make more. Like, let's get more in there. Let's have
join
more
the squad.
People. Yeah,
come to Death Row Records. Come to Death Row Records.
Exactly. Yes, join the squad. We're building an internet gang of wholesome people
for legal reasons. We're not actually.
I'm just saying we're fighting. We're building an online gang to fight negativity in the internet. How about
exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a place of positivity and peace in the other hellish scape that is the world we live in right now. So come join. It's fun. It's nice.
Exactly. Cool. Well, thank you, Eric. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that people know about the Discord. That's the best place to engage with us on the internet. Obviously, we're heavy in the community over there, so I appreciate it. But guys, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to keep this train moving. I want to talk about the games that are coming and the games that we missed, that we miss. Maybe we got a little taste of already. We want to go back to. Maybe we didn't get a chance to check it out. We'll kind of just we're freewheeling today, right? I just want to kind of talk it through and see what everybody's. Maybe it's things you're playing now that you just want to keep playing more of. Does anybody want to go first and just talk through what they're excited about for the last couple months here of 2025?
I can go because my game is, I think, the one that comes out the soonest. It literally comes out like probably the day or the day before this comes out. But Dispatch is coming out finally from a lot of the creators of the Telltale series of games, specifically A Wolf Among Us. It's going to be a much more like laid out episodic thing that comes out 2 episodes every week for like 4 weeks or something like that. And I'm just really excited. I played the demo. The demo was like 30 minutes. And there's a point in time on stream when I was playing it where I was like, this is going to be a problem. This game is going to be a problem because it was like, you're not only managing, like you have the social aspect of like kind of trying to figure out how these people work together. You're also like, you have a little game mechanic of sending people to do jobs that they're supposed to do. And you have like one guy that when you send him to do a job, when he comes back, he turns into a monster bat thing. So now his stats are flipped. And I was like, oh, cool. We're just playing Magic the Gathering now. This is great. And I was like, this game, if it actually does come out this year, will be like probably in my top 5. So that is like by far the most excited I am for a game for the rest of the year.
And sorry, G. I was going to say,
go for it.
On top of the gameplay and stuff, big ups on having basically the entirety of Critical Role cast as voice actors in that.
Yeah,
real exciting.
Well, it's produced by them, so yeah, it makes sense. They're all just like,
I didn't even know
literally
that.
the first thing when you see the trailer, the first thing that pops up is like Critical Role, and I was like, oh damn, all right, cool. Yeah, the voice cast is stacked too. I'm very excited for Jacksepticeye to play a small Irish man. It's very funny.
I saw Aaron Paul's in there.
Yes, he's the main character.
Yeah.
Who you play?
Yeah. Let me ask you, so my only knowledge of Dispatch, I've been kind of like no comms on Dispatch. I was at the Game Awards when they announced Dispatch, and I remember it just lit the room on fire, myself included, because the art style looks really, really cool. I don't know anything about the gameplay though, and I know you mentioned like Magic the Gathering. What's the gameplay loop of Dispatch?
The Magic the Gathering thing was more of me, like the way my brain works,
equating
when
it.
Transform cards,
the combos and things like that. For the most part, the gameplay is very similar to any other Telltale you would play, where you have like multiple options when you're in the middle of dialogue, and sometimes if you don't respond in time, that's a choice as well. One thing that I did notice during the demo is how natural the choices were. In the old Telltale games, there would be like that little pause when you'd make a choice, and it would be like, and then they would start talking. It was literally like, I would make the decision, it would hit a point in the conversation, and then my character would start speaking like it was a natural flow. But then the actual gameplay side of things is basically you have a map of a city, and there's like, you play a dispatch person for superheroes, basically. So you'll be solving different disputes that pop up throughout whether it's like a fire or there's a bank robbery or there's a bar fight, and you have a team of people. It's looks like 7 or 8 people, and you can send them to different locations, and each location will have like, oh, you probably want somebody that's good with people or good with combat or is tough or fast or whatever, or diplomatic, or like,
based on their skills.
Yes. And if you send them and they do a poor job, then you get demerits and stuff like that. And I'm assuming, based off of the way that these games function, based on how well you're doing with this stuff, will raise and lower their like relationship status with you, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, and we'll probably have the story flow in and out based on that. And that's what I'm most excited about. I'm like, how do they equate what's happening in this little, like the actual gameplay mechanics to the story? Because like, if I send a guy and he gets absolutely fucked up and he's terrible and he's never leveling up, how is he going to treat me outside of things? Is it going to be like, oh, that didn't happen, and they just focus on the plot, or is it going to be tied into the stuff? So I love a game with like choices and like quick choices like that, where it's not necessarily fast twitch on like fighting a tough boss fight or something like that, but it's like you got to make a decision quick based on the information you have. And this is like I'm so for it. I'm so excited.
And the
awesome.
episodic thing sounds awesome. Like it sounds like they're doing the episodic release in the right kind of way. Because is it every other week or every week?
It's 2 episodes every week.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have the game is ready.
Smart.
It's done. Like it's not like, oh, we'll see the second half in 6 months and then it'll get delayed.
We're not waiting for like additional dev. Like it's just done.
Yeah, and I'm very excited for that because that's how episodic should be.
Yeah.
Because the idea of episodic is cool because you do get that discussion, but the fact that they've already created what they want and they will not be influenced by people saying like, oh, they should have done this, which is what happened with a lot of Telltale games where they're like, I bet they could have done it like this and then it would be better. And then all of a sudden you get to the new thing and you're like, this is terrible. Why did you listen to the fans?
Yeah. We don't know anything.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Go to any subreddit for any show. They have the worst ideas.
Yeah. Like that would never work. It's funny because like I feel like the Telltale Walking Dead game, and maybe it was just an of that time thing. I never like felt that dip in quality from episode to episode. I love Telltale's The Walking Dead season 1, 2. I don't think I ever played Michonne. But I feel like every other one I tried after that just slightly missed the mark. Not that they were bad. I mean, some were bad, but like, not that they like they just somehow just didn't capture that same magic from like episode to episode. Something was lost between each iteration. So the fact that we're getting 2 episodes every single week, it's like it's like watching an episode of a season of your favorite TV show. You know what I mean? You don't feel that weight nearly as much, and I think that's going to really work in their favor.
And I think the big reason why a lot of them have you played The Wolf Among Us?
I played a little bit of The Wolf Among Us. Yeah,
that one rips. So that one was like their last really good one.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to like. This is not an indictment of like everything they ever did, but.
Well, I think a big issue that they ran into with The Walking Dead, it was an IP, but the IP they were working with was based off the comics, and it was with people that didn't exist, right? So they could do whatever they want. These were non-consequential. They were not world beaters. They were not the most powerful people in the world. When they start dipping into like the Batmans, the Game of Thrones, the Borderlands even, which I've heard those games, at least the first one is good. You are now all of a sudden set in like the fucking house whatever in Game of Thrones is not going to beat the bad guy from season 5 of Game of Thrones, because guess what? He didn't die. Like stuff is, you're kind of locked into a canonical thing that already happened. Whereas with a new game like this, it's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. This is your IP. So that's the big reason that season 1 specifically of The Walking Dead was so good, was because those were all original characters with one crossover character from the comics, which was Glenn, who showed up for a cup of coffee and then was never seen again.
Yeah.
No, I'm super stoked that this is the fact that it's their own IP. It's not Marvel. It's not DC. It's not The Boys or anything. It's their own original thing. Makes me very excited.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. And I there's something special too about like superhero properties that are, to your point, Nate, like not superheroes that we know and love. You feel like that blank canvas, you know, like you mentioned, Eric. It's definitely cool. Is there any other like new titles that you're looking forward to for the rest of the year? Is Dispatch like the one? Is that the one?
Dispatch is really the one. Like just to name off a couple that I'm interested in, I probably won't buy day one, is like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And the only reason I'm not going to buy that day one is because since it comes out in December, it's a 2026 game to me. So I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it. And then Kirby Air Riders is another one that's like, I'm excited for. I will buy it eventually, probably not day one. But one that I am semi excited for, just off of word of mouth. I have looked up nothing about this game, and I think Phil has probably heard about this game too, which is called Demon School. That they delayed their own release date because of Silk Song, and they made like a funny post about it, like where they're like, it was like the Pepe meme of like him getting beat up, and it was like Silk Song. So that was their announcement that they delayed it to November. all I know is it's some kind of tactical game with like Persona elements, and I was like, all right, sure.
Sign me up.
Yeah. But if we want to go off of ones I'm actually excited for that I know about, there's not a release date yet. So, but it is 2025, which is Mixtape, which is another very similar game to Dispatch, but it's more along the lines of like Life is Strange.
Yeah.
It's about the last day of high school, a last day of summer with 3 friends in high school. And I was like, cool. Yeah. I want to feel things like that. I just played Emily's Away 3 on my show Short Game Long Talk, and that was like a dip back into nostalgia of that time period of my life. So like, yeah, bring me back. I love it. Like a whole game based around like playing through memories through a mixtape, like sounds so sick, and the art style looks incredible. So that one I'm hoping does actually come out this year, because that would be a really fun ride.
I wonder if there's any space for them to like surprise drop. I don't think there's any. I mean, do they have like a relationship with like a Sony or anything like that where they could maybe surprise drop it at a State of Play or a Nintendo Direct? I don't think. Who's developing that?
It's Annapurna. So
Annapurna, okay.
But Annapurna is not what Annapurna used to be.
Yeah.
No.
But I think this is the last of those, right? Like there's going to be still some leftover games of publishing. But yeah, I'll be curious to see when this does come out. But yeah, it looks great. I love games like this, and I'm excited for the music. I probably will not stream this because I want to hear all of the music and all the gloriousness that happens. So.
You don't want to put it those like streamer friendly modes where it's just like nondescript.
Yeah.
No, I need the needle drops, man. I need the needle drops.
Yeah, dude.
Looks incredible.
And what about is there anything in your backlog that you're kind of, obviously the holiday season's coming up, and I know that's when I usually start attacking those things. Is there anything from this year that you either didn't get a chance to try out or you got a little bit of taste of and that you want to get back to?
So for one, it's the Digimon game that just came out. I know it's a huge one. It's called Time Stranger, and it looks dope as hell. But like, I know that's a big game, and I just I'm not going to have time for it, but I will eventually get around to it. I've heard good things about it, and they definitely are like leaning into the like, let's make a Persona Digimon game, like style wise and flavor wise. And I'm like, Digimon low key has always been more dope than Pokemon. Pokemon's more marketable. That's basically it. But I don't know, man. Have you seen a fucking like all the fucking Digimon that just have guns?
A gun.
Like,
yeah,
it's incredible. It's incredible. Beelzemon is like one of my favorite fucking like characters from an anime. He's incredible. Yeah, I'm excited for that to check that out. But for the most part, no, I don't think I missed too many this year. Unless like there's Lost Records Bloom and Rage I wanted to check out, but
yeah, I've heard mixed things.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one was kind of divisive.
I heard the first episode, the first part was good, and then I heard nothing about the second episode. So I'm like, I'm kind of glad I waited, but there's not too much. I don't want to take up too much more time, so I think that's it. Like I was pretty slow this year. I got the ones that I wanted out of the way, and Dispatch was really the last one where I'm like, okay, this was on my radar. I want to make sure I play this, but maybe next year I'll hit the ground running with more new releases, because man, I slowed down about like 3-4 months into the year when it came to new releases.
This year was heavy, so I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Cool, Eric. Nate, I want to go to you next. Talk to me, brother. What are you excited about? What do you want to get back to? Let's walk through Nate's November and December.
The soonest one that I'm definitely most excited for is one I think me and Phil are gonna jive on, and that is Arc Raiders.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Also number one on my list.
Yep, I am real into extraction shooters. I was a big Escape from Tarkov guy for a long time, but yeah, that game is hardcore. That it is punishing and demanding of a lot of time and stuff. So this, it's sick. One, third person is a nice change. I like that a lot. And then the fact that it's filled with like a bunch of these AI robots all over the place. I'm also real into that. The world is just, I think, a lot more interesting than that kind of played out, dreary, militaristic, just real world setting that Tarkov is. And I'm kind of over it. So
it's got a lot of splashes of color.
From what I noticed, yeah. And there seems to be, just from like the preview, a lot more of natural co-op with other people in the world. In Tarkov, it's 1 out of maybe 25 times you'll find someone that's willing to like be homies and run together. In Arc Raiders, I felt like it was more often than not there were people that are like, let's just get out together, and actually worked out. And I'm excited for that.
Did you play early access? Or
I was only able to get in for like 2 hours worth of early access, but watched so many streams.
Okay,
That is a game I am real into.
That's so interesting. I'm very curious about that because, like, the people that are in an early access, I feel like, are a different demographic of the people that are actually going to play it. So I'm very curious if that holds up. That thought of like the cooperativeness, right?
Yeah, when it hits the general population.
Sure, there was an option in that, and the division as well to help people, and that did not happen.
No.
Darkstone, that was I always was the one going rogue and like just cutting people's stuff off of their extraction just cause, not because I wanted it.
You're
So
the
it
guy.
was you.
You're the guy.
See, the second they show you that loot is tastier when you don't have to work for it as hard, you'll be right back to those days. Watch. You're gonna come back and he's gonna be like, I'm an Arc Raiders grifter.
Yeah.
I grief people now.
Yep. Just hang out at the elevator, getting all that tasty loot.
Let me ask you guys something, because I don't have much history with extraction shooters, because if I'm being honest with you, they kind of intimidate me a little bit, because I remember playing Division back in the day, and I remember they're like, oh, there's this place, it's called the Dark Zone or whatever the hell it was, and like that had those extraction flavors. And I remember being like terrified doing those things, because I'm like, man, I could like lose things. Is based on your experience with the Arc, I know you said you only had a couple hours in it. Does this seem like it might be like a user-friendly jumping on point? Because it looks interesting. The art looks interesting. The gameplay looks interesting. It looks like it might be scratching that Division itch that I'm looking for. But I'm still kind of intimidated by the idea of an extraction shooter.
Yeah, I think definitely more accessible than things like Tarkov, or if you remember the Cycle Frontier. That was another that was came and went. Now the servers are gone and everything. But I can't really put my finger on it. Something about it, though, does feel like the controls and everything is a lot more simpler. It is a third-person shooter at its core. So, like, if you're down with that, you have a group of homies to run with, I think it's worth getting into. And the biggest thing is, like, once you get that gear fear out of your head and you stop worrying about the stuff you're going to lose, it becomes a lot more fun.
Yeah, and I think go for it, Phil. Go for it.
I've never played Tarkov before. Tarkov does not have persistent like upgrades throughout the game, right?
It does.
It does.
Your hideout you're constantly building up, and
through
your hideout is like will get you things like your hydration center will make it so your stamina refills faster when you're out of raid and stuff like that.
Okay. Because I know that there is some amount of persistent stuff that is going on in Arc Raiders, and then it also seems like there is some measure of like a safe part of your backpack or something that, like, even if your run is a total bust, you still get to bring something back.
Yes,
that's
very limited.
It's not super punishing in that kind of way. But
yeah,
the gear fear was the thing I had to get over. I played a lot of DMZ when that came out on Warzone, and that was a thing where it's just like, well, I will just go in naked. Like it's not worth like going in with anything, and I will just like learn how to play the game and lose over and over and over and over again until I like get it. But yeah, it was a tough thing to get over, of like, well, I got this really cool thing, and now I'm not going to play the game anymore because I don't want to lose the cool thing.
Hold on to it and hoard it.
Yeah. That's what scares me a little bit. You know what I mean? Is like that. But to your point, that
thought is like insane to me. I'm thinking about like, yes, I worked really hard. It's basically like if I fucking grinded out for like the like legendary weapon in Destiny, and then I got griefed by somebody, and they're like, "Thank you." I'm like, no,
mine now.
You got that 1% drop rate. Cool. It was an easy drop rate for me. I saw you once and got it. Like, that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I'm not
fair.
made for multiplayer games anymore. That's what I'm realizing.
We're not built for that anymore. But I like that idea of like getting over the gear for it, because it was the same process for me, like finally wrapping my head around like Souls games, which was like death is part of the process. And once I understood like, oh no, this needs to happen for you to understand like what the next step is, or what the next to make sure you parry, you know what I mean? Things like that.
Jesus Christ, man.
I'm gonna give Eric a heart attack on my streams, by the way.
No, you've gotten so much better, and it's all because of me.
It's all you.
It's literally like he'll just be swinging at a guy that I was like 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh yeah, you're about to fight these guys that have the biggest parry window in the game, and he's just like, I'll just swing at it until it's dead. I'm like
dodging like back and forth.
One bullet and just fucking visceral, and you're done.
No, but like I think that maybe that is I might check out Arc Raiders before that exact reason, because I love the look of it. It looks the world of it looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a unique.
It looks like Atomic Heart, doesn't it?
It's got a lot of Atomic Heart to it. Yeah. And
I'm excited to hear about it from you guys. I was watching I was skimming through a preview video while you guys were talking, because I was like, I remember this game being announced. But typically when extraction shooters, there was one at the Game Awards that I forget what it was, but it was like the one where something about it's far in the future, but it's like basically like one where you interacting with NPCs like can affect somebody else's gameplay. That one seemed interesting to me. But I was like, cool. I remember this popping up, but like I couldn't, because I remembered the Arc Raiders logo is like very my style coded of like how I design logos.
Arc Raiders initially, from what I remember when it was first announced, was not an extraction shooter. It was kind of like the Marathon like rework, hopefully better than Marathon. But like, I think it was like a co-op PvE third person shooter. Yeah. So it's interesting that they kind of like reworked it from the ground up, and it's getting the reception that it's getting. More importantly, you know, they made a move, they bet on themselves, and it worked in their favor.
See, I heard about that.
Forever Winter, Eric?
Forever Winter.
Oh, that's one I have been jumping in with a friend that is also very fun. I don't know about the NPC thing.
No, this game, the game I'm thinking of is not out yet. It was announced at Summer Game Fest. I'm trying to find the name because it's going to kill me.
Can we talk about the developer of Forever Winter being Fun Dog Studios?
Yeah.
That game does not look like it was made by a fun dog.
It's tough. It is brutal. It's one of those games where like we were talking about it on a previous episode, where it's like you are not the big bad protagonist, where like there are mechs and these giant enemies that you physically cannot kill. They're meant to be there to fight other factions and stuff that are on the map. And you are the little guy that is coming in and scrounging up all the loot. And it's a good time.
This game looks horrifying.
Oh, yeah.
It's brutal. I would like to play it, but speaking of a future episode, it is too scary for me.
Too scary for you.
Yeah.
Nate, any other new games that you're looking forward to, or anything else that you're kind of is on the horizon?
Yeah, and another that I know Gianni you'll like, Outer Worlds 2. I am such an Obsidian guy. I mean, any Western RPG really, I'll give a chance. But I loved Outer Worlds 1, and Avowed it's tied for my game of the year so far. So I'm excited for Outer Worlds 2. This is going to be it.
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2. I'm not an Obsidian guy. I famously not disliked, but New Vegas was my first introduction to Obsidian games, and I wasn't a fan. I was like, this ain't Fallout 3. This is not the world that I want to exist in. It just didn't click for me, and it kind of turned me sour from Obsidian games for a long time. So much so that I remember when Outer Worlds 1 came out, I was like, that looks cool, but I didn't like New Vegas. And that was like my bad. I really shouldn't have taken that route. I should have given it its fair shake. But when Avowed came out, I was like, this really I'm not the high fantasy guy, but I like that it had a different high fantasy look with it, with all the mushrooms and weird funguses and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's kind of, it was super colorful. And Avowed, same thing. I think I'm having like a 3-way head-to-head battle between Avowed, Expedition 33, and Hades 2 at this point. I fell in love with it. I mean, I played it initially for that first run. I think my first playthrough took me like 60 hours. It's a phenomenal game. It's really, really good. So when Outer Worlds, when I heard about Outer Worlds 2, which I know they were kind of developing in tandem with Avowed, I was like, if this has all the systems in place that we see in Avowed and has that kind of tight storytelling, that open zone structure that I loved about Avowed and that exploration that I loved about Avowed, sign me up. You know, putting it in that sci-fi setting, I think will definitely click for me. I went back to Outer Worlds 1 after completing Avowed, and I remember like, okay, this is cool. But, you know, I know the sequel's on the horizon. Like, do I need to? I forget. I think I asked one of you guys about having to complete Outer Worlds 1, and it sounds like it's not necessary so much. So I'm really stoked for Outer Worlds 2.
It's a good time. I like that.
Yeah.
I went back and I think I got 3 of the endings for that. And like, it's one of those that every time you run through, you like try and get the different permanences of like, oh, I made this choice to like side with this corporation last time. What about this? And it actually has major differences. And I really hope that the second game just goes full to the wall and does that tenfold, because it was there in 1, but I could see them really taking it to the next level in 2.
Yeah, the thing about Obsidian, especially later Obsidian with I mean, even Pentiment, which is I always forget that Pentiment is an Obsidian game. But Obsidian is very much, especially with Outer Worlds and then now Avowed, is like filling that spot of what BioWare was in the early 2000s for me. Like you're talking about, Nate, like I played through Outer Worlds twice when it came out, and then I went back to it at the beginning of the year this year and played through it again and did some more DLC. And I remember when I was a kid, I would play the KOTOR games, I would play Mass Effect, I would play them 6 times because it would be the evil run, the good run, the like neutral run for both genders, because like BioWare would write different shit for different people in different runs. They got away from that. But Obsidian is like doing that same kind of thing. So yeah, I'm stoked for Outer Worlds 2 also. I kind of forgot that it was coming out this year, but it's like coming out in like the next week or 2, right? It's like real soon.
It's very soon, yeah.
I really the last week of October, yeah.
I really hope so. There's obviously the other corner of this is Larian Studios, the guys who made Baldur's Gate 3. They're like the experts at this. Obviously, they set their stuff in fantasy, but there's some stuff being chattered. Their next thing is going to be their own IP because they don't want to work with Hasbro. Obviously, that makes sense. Good on them. I wouldn't either. But there's like talks that people are like, maybe they'll finally pull the trigger and do like a sci-fi thing, which
I would love that so much. Baldur's Gate sci-fi would suck me in forever. That would.
Yeah, I was like, I think that would get a lot of people that were like a little iffy on Baldur's Gate, and because it's like the fantasy setting, and then we would just lose people forever because it's sci-fi.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I haven't jumped into Baldur's Gate 3, because I'm like, this is not my style of game, but it looks great. And I'm like, I know if I somehow it becomes I wasn't expecting it, but I fell in love with it, I will never put it down. That's why I'm like,
if you want a tiptoe version of that, let me introduce you to my best friend, made by Obsidian, the Pillars of Eternity games.
Well, I mean, that's what Avowed is in the world of, right? Yeah. I'd be willing to do that. To do that.
PoE 1 is, it's a top-down isometric. It's not turn-based though. So it's kind of like the baby version of it, but it's like a go through the dialogue options kind of game. It has kind of that feel, but it is much more, it's like taking a riverboat down a river instead of the wide open ocean that is Baldur's Gate. But you still have plenty of choices to work with. It's a good like dip your toe in it and then still, know what an Adra pillar is kind of thing.
Play Baldur's Gate though. It's fun.
Well, I mean,
it's
do that.
Fucking good. But I opened, so I didn't have the capability to play it the year it came out. and I had my Game of the Year episode where my Game of the Year was Tears of the Kingdom, and no one else was like on that show played Baldur's Gate that year either. And I opened up the next year's Game of the Year being like, we fucked up. That game should have been on all of our lists. That game is so good.
Maybe
Nate,
someday we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Nate, let me ask you, is there any like backlog titles that you're looking to get to at the end of the year? I know you're playing a little bit of something, so maybe that's going to take up your whole rest of
the rest of your year.
Yeah, I am. I'm in deep in Dead Space right now, the remake. But I'll finish that in the next 2 weeks. I'm making good pace on that. I think I'm 4.5, maybe 5 hours in, so I'm like at the halfway point. So that should be
that's nice.
Soon-ish. But I never finished Death Stranding 2. And that is one that, like, after I clear out everything else, I need to get back to.
Did you play Death Stranding 1?
Didn't finish it. But
okay. Got you. I've been debating because I started playing Death Stranding 1 and just something about it. I definitely, I've tried twice. Once was like one on release. Once was on stream earlier this year. And I definitely liked it better the second time, but there was still just something that was like missing. And everybody told me to like, just watch a recap, jump into Death Stranding 2. But there's something in my brain that can't like jump into the sequel without experiencing the lore of the first one. You know what I mean? But Death Stranding 2 just looks incredible.
Oh, yeah, it's a visual feast.
The
fact that like you'll go through these sprawling landscapes and I'll just stop for a second because I swear it's photorealistic. Like not hyperbole, like it literally looks like a picture from outside. And that is reason enough to get me to go back because it looks so good.
Maybe one day, maybe when I've got 100 hours to spare.
I know that's the problem, right? With these big games, like I feel like all sequels need to be like loosely related to, like when your game is over 60 hours long, it needs to be loosely related. Like you can pick up any Persona game, right? They're massive games, but you can play 3, 4, or 5 at any time.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to be like, it's just like when you're like, oh yeah, you got to watch the show. How long is it? 9 seasons?
Yeah. I'm not watching The Sopranos. All right. It's too late.
I'm Italian enough already.
No, but for real, it's like if I have to do homework to jump into this massive undertaking, it's not happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no fucking way I'm doing it. So please it's like tough, make it as easy to wrap my head around in terms of like make it the jumping off point. Otherwise, sorry. I'm
actually surprised he didn't, because Kojima's a freak. I'm surprised he didn't do a like actual cinematic like 90-minute.
There is. It's like, a half hour long, isn't it?
That's the whole story of the first game.
I thought so. Is that not true, Nate?
I have no idea.
So when I jumped into the second game, there is a recap, but it is slides with voiceover from Guillermo del Toro, which was a choice.
Of course.
He's in the first game.
No, I know. And it's pretty good. But I was expecting something like a 3D cinematic that is 5 minutes long to go over the whole first game. But
I feel like they could have gotten away with doing a full 90-minute like movie. Like that's what he wants
it wouldn't
to do.
be the
That's all
first time.
Yeah. So I feel like that would have been cool. That would have probably made me more excited for like Death Stranding 2 to be like, if I was interested in the story at all and been like, whoa, this is crazy. Yeah. Then maybe I would have hopped in 2, but
it's kind of like, I mean, say what you want about the series, but I know Kingdom Hearts does a really good job of being like, you know, last time. And then it's like, it's still confusing as fuck, but you know, they at least do their best to kind of like explain everything. That would have been
good an effort.
Yeah, exactly. Cool, Nate. Phil, moving on to you, my friend. What are you excited about as we move into the end of the year? New games, backlog. What are you looking at taking up your time?
So Arc Raiders was my number one. We were playing Helldivers as like the Wednesday game with high school friends and co-host Logan. And it just really shit the bed. Like a month ago, it just was an absolute technical nightmare. Yeah. So we've been in this weird limbo space of done with Night Rain and in need of whatever the next game is. Right now we're playing Sons of the Forest, which is weirdly working for us.
That feels like a good game for you guys. Yeah.
It's a weird fit. but it's somehow working. But Arc Raiders is the one that ever since I saw the announcement, I was like, oh shit, like this is going to be the one. Like this is going to get us in. Like I've tried to get them to play Remnant with me. Hasn't worked out. But like Arc Raiders is like, we love DMZ. We like, you know, it's the weird mesh of the three of us where like Logan is very much like, I need to get better at this game. I need to be very good at this game. I'm there to have a good time and also sometimes win. And then Nick just wants to hang out. So it's the three of us like trying to find a game that fits all three of those. And I think Arc Raiders might actually be it, because then we can like have a plan and like do stuff, but also just wander around this really cool looking environment and raid shit. So I'm super stoked for that. But the game that I'm actually the most excited for, that I think I've brought up on this show before because I played the demo for it, is Ambrosia Sky. I was checking the Game Informer list that we were looking at to like figure out what the rest of the year looks like. I haven't seen a actual date for Ambrosia Sky, but they have it listed as November 11th. So I'm just going to assume that it's coming out and just like hope. But Ambrosia Sky is it's kind of the immersive sim game where you are returning to a colony on the edge of Saturn and you are going through all of these space stations. And this is the one that I think I mentioned has like, you have to reclaim bodies to get their ambrosia and like take their genes back to space to like give a cure for humanity. And it has this like moment at the end of one of them where it's just this incredibly powerful moment of you like giving a funeral to someone. And it's this weird mesh of go through these procedural space stations and like get rid of these fungus and like solve the different puzzles for like power wash simulator style things of like, you know, collect this, do that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it just has this crazy emotional story beat. And that's where the demo ended. So I need to know more. Like I need to see where this game goes. And they've been out doing press for it. And they've like talked about how people are starting to notice that there are more immersive sim things happening, which is like 100% my thing.
The style.
That's your bag. Yeah. That's a Phil game.
The art style on this is nuts.
That's what I was going to say.
So good.
Holy crap.
The pinks and blues and like purples is so nice, dude.
And it's all
I love the boldness of saying Act 1. I'm like, I love that.
Yeah.
That's sick. Love
it's
that.
so good. And it's like it's also kind of nice because for the most part you're just dealing with, at least from the two missions in the demo, you're mostly just dealing with environmental hazards and
looks like it.
Dealing with like you have like a sprayer that does stuff. It kind of does the funny Dead Space thing where you can change it from vertical to horizontal.
Ooh,
and like dealing with gravity and everything. But so you just get to like sit in the space and like mostly navigate it and live in these like dead space stations. It's so cool. I love how this thing looks.
November 10th.
November 10th. Yeah.
November
that's
10th.
Crazy.
Yeah, look at that. I have been probably pestering this dev so much that they won't actually give me review code, but this is like the one that I'm like, please give me something.
This guy again.
Yeah, basically.
Well, this is cool because this is the first game that I literally have not heard of. So you completely put this on my radar. So this is really cool. And PC only, I'm assuming.
Soft Rains, if you're listening. We're very excited for this game.
Yes.
Phil wants a code. I also want a code. It comes out the day after my birthday, if that helps at all.
Yeah.
So you can give me a little birthday present. But if not, I will support you because this game looks incredible.
Don't make the birthday boy sad. Come on now.
It looks nuts.
I'm already aging. Just give me something.
That looks really cool. Any other new games coming out, Phil, that you're stoked for?
I have a couple on here, but honestly, nothing too crazy. Like Ambrosia Sky is really the one for me. I think the end of this year has really been me coming to terms with like wanting to get into new games, like new types of games, which will be the top thing on my backlog. But also letting go of trying to stay up to date with stuff. Like I don't care about Silk Song. I super don't care about Pokemon Za. Like like Metroid, it's not going to happen for me. I don't even have a Switch 2 anyways. Like it's just letting go of all of this stuff. And it has meant that the last couple months have been blissful. It's been so nice not to have to rush through this stuff.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned your backlog and trying new things. What do you have there that you're looking forward to?
Silent Hill F.
Oh yeah.
I saw it, and when it was announced, I was just like, no, thank you, not for me, not my thing. And it's done the thing where, like, as I've watched more people play, like the first half hour of it, once I've like really sat with the trailer and like looked at it and stuff, I was like, fuck, this is gonna be the one. Like, I'm gonna get this game. This is gonna be like a November thing for me, I think.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to hop into it. It looks so good. Speaking of photorealistic, but it it looks crazy good and also super disgusting.
Yeah. So I'm playing Silent Hill F right now. And this is my first Silent Hill experience. And I'm playing on base PS5. I don't have PS5 Pro.
Off
stream. I'm doing it. I know.
He's giving him. He's giving him something for himself. He's keeping something for himself.
I gotta have something for me. Right?
Good on you. That's healthy.
So I'm playing on a base PS5, and this is already like one of the prettiest like games I've ever played. I didn't, because again, first Silent Hill. Like anything, sometimes like the game's mechanics, if they're unfamiliar to you, might seem off-putting. For me, the combat was very off-putting when I first started. The Drop In Drop Out has a Silent Hill F Discord thread that they've been running, and I just went in there. I'm like, guys, I don't know if I don't understand like what what I'm supposed to be doing. And, they kind of pointed me in the direction. There's some like journal stuff in there where it's like, hey, you're not supposed to engage in combat with everything. A lot of it is just you are a helpless human in this world, and sometimes like the best solution is running away. And as somebody who mostly engages in action RPGs, that to me was kind of like mind-blowing in a weird way. But now that I've wrapped my head around this, the last time I played a few days ago, and I hit a plot point where I was like, you son of a bitch, I'm fucking in, dude. I was like, damn, all right. Like, now I get it. So I really hope that you get to Silent Hill F. Also, I've heard that it's not the longest game. So I'm about 6 or 7 hours into what's supposed to be about an 11-hour playthrough.
Yeah,
so
that's what I've heard.
It's perfect for like a backlog experience, because it probably will only take you 3 or 4 sit downs at most. Yeah, play it in the dark. And play it with good headphones.
Yeah, that is what terrifying.
I'm afraid of. It is very scary.
Read some Junji Ito afterwards. Really immerse yourself in the grossness.
It is very scary.
I have that. I also have like another game that has been literally sitting in my backlog since the day it came out. I bought it on release day, and just have never got around to it. Tainted Grail. Have any of you heard of this game?
That name
that's
familiar.
right. You're an Arthurian Legends like lover. That's right. That's a fun fact about Phil.
I love me some Arthur. If you look over here, there's the Song of Roland, and also a book about Lancelot.
Wow, that cover is incredible.
Yeah, it's Oblivion. It's Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, except it's Arthurian myth.
Oh my god, it totally is. Holy shit. The first screenshot just looks like Skyrim. Wow.
Yeah, it's just straight up Elder Scrolls, but you play as like a knight who is working to like restore King Arthur. But it has like much more like spooky looking art design to it, because it's very much like a grimdark Arthur myth. But
how did this pass me by? This is hard.
I've never even heard. Yeah, the name sounded familiar, but I've never seen screenshots of this game.
There's nearly 12,000 reviews.
Guys, you gotta get in here. It's like also being very actively updated. Also, like the patches that they're putting out are like not just balance patches and stuff. Like there are new spells that are coming out. Like they're putting in new armor. Like it is buck wild how much they're putting into this, because before. Like this whole, I think it is the developer quest line, or maybe it's Awaken Realms, the publisher. Either way, the Tainted Grail stuff is like it's a whole subgenre.
Questline. It's questline.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a whole subgenre. So there's like Tainted Grail. It used to be like it's Conquest, I think was one of them, and that used to be a tactics game. Like there's a ARPG version of this, and this is just like them going, here's your first person Oblivion, go fucking wild. The demo is out. They launched it a couple months earlier before the game came out. I played through it, like first hour of it, and it's just straight up fucking Oblivion, man. Like it's so good. I love everything about it. It has like the best vibes, and you get to meet King Arthur at the end, so that's fun. You know, what's not to love?
Is he like normal King Arthur, or is there something that's like wrong?
Oh well, Nate, you're gonna have to play to find out.
I might have to get in. This looks so good.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I think it takes place on the Isle of Avalon, but there's also like another version of it that reminds me of what's the Elden Ring zone with the floating castles? Karamazula or something.
Yeah,
Crumbling Karamazula.
Yeah. It's that. So it's sick. Like it looks beautiful. It is super dumb in the ways that you expect an Oblivion to be. But yeah, it's real good. Looking forward to it.
Hell yeah.
That looks
I'll have to check
awesome.
that one out. Any other ones you want to shout out, Phil?
Beekeeper's Picnic. Talking about things that are just like 1000% in my wheelhouse. Beekeeper's Picnic is a point and click adventure game.
Hold on. Can we talk about Skirt?
Yeah.
Follow Avalon to Beekeeper's Picnic. You could not pick two completely polar opposite games.
Yeah.
Love that.
This looks lovely.
But it is a point and click adventure where you play as Sherlock Holmes in retirement because he's a beekeeper now.
That's right. I have heard about this. Holy shit. Yeah.
This is it's like a shorter game, I think, but I picked this up in the Steam sale and it's just been sitting in my backlog for a bit. But this also looks great, and yes, very much a vibe shift from the other two games that are just like grim, dark, and scary. But yeah, I'm stoked.
I kind
to
of
try
like this like mid to early 90s like point and click look to it that it's got as well. This kind of like pixel art style. It reminds me a lot of those games like from our childhood, I feel.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of that, and a little bit of Golden Idol is in here a little bit too. But yeah, this seems good. I think it's a relatively quick game. I don't think it takes too long to play, so I'm looking forward to sitting down. This one is probably going to end up being a Christmas holiday game for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that feels cozy.
Yep. That's it. That's the backlog for your boy Phil.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, I too am looking to play some games these next couple months, in case you didn't know. Nate stole my first one, which would have been Outer Worlds 2. So I'm not going to wax too more poetic on Outer Worlds 2. It looks like it's going to be a fun time. One thing I did want to add to is that I know Outer Worlds 1 was not an extremely long experience as well. From my understanding, it was only like 20 to 30 hours. So I'm excited for getting that as well. Bring back... They don't need to be an hour long, but they don't need to be, to Eric's point, they don't need to be a fucking 100-hour experience. So I like a nice 20 to 30-hour RPG experience. And that's another thing that I'm excited about for Outer Worlds 2. Now, going the complete opposite of that and going to a 100-hour experience, the second game that I am excited about is Octopath Traveler 0. So I've been really like itching for a turn-based RPG for a while now, and I've got like little glimpses of it where I kind of just get in that space. I played a lot of turn-based RPGs as a kid, and especially going back to like the Final Fantasy series. That was really like my onboarding, and Pokemon for that matter. But I've tried the first two Octopath Traveler games. This is going to come out, I want to say, it's the same day as Metroid, so December 4th. Take your pick, fellas. But Octopath Traveler 0, I tried the first two Octopath Travelers. The second one I played a little bit more of, but something about like all the different characters that you could choose from was a little overwhelming for me.
Especially because there's specifically a way that you can pick wrong. Like you can make that game so much harder for yourself, and they do not like signpost that at all.
Right. And I'm not a huge fan of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't like, I want my choices to feel impactful, but I don't want them to be like, make my experience more difficult. You know what I mean?
Super punishing. And
yeah, exactly. So Octopath Traveler 0 looks interesting because it's a prequel. You get to customize your own character, which I love.
Ooh.
Anytime I'm in charge of the character that I like being the character in the game. That really excites me. It is a prequel, so it sounds like it's not going to be too hung up on existing lore. It does take place in the same universe, but it also adds some like really cool town building mechanics and recruitment mechanics. So it's kind of meshing a few different genres that you haven't really seen in the Octopath Traveler games. And I think that looks really fun. Plus, a 2D, 3D art style is just, I'm such a sucker for that tilt shift 2D, 3D vibe.
I just looked it up. Apparently, this is an overhaul of the like gotcha mobile game that came out.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I didn't even know
but
it had
it's
those
like
kind
a
of mechanics.
full overhaul. I don't think it has got. It's like a full, because I was looking it up and it was like, oh yeah, a prequel. This is the second prequel. I was like, the second prequel.
Yeah,
and it's apparently there's a mobile game that came out in Japan in 2020.
I didn't know that.
In the US, like global in 2022. And then I just looked up, like I saw a new Octopath Traveler 0 info main story 100 hours. And then there's about 30 to 40% new compared to the original. So I was like, the what? The what? I was like, what do you mean? I thought this was new.
That's
and
interesting.
It literally says, for those not in the know, Octopath Traveler 0 is a complete overhaul of the mobile gacha Champions of the Continent converted into a standard non-live service game. So
nice.
Very cool.
I think that's better when stuff like that
Yeah.
happens, because games need to be eternal. So gacha games can't go on forever, especially with such a master, huge franchise like Octopath Traveler. Like, who the fuck thought that was an idea to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm reading the story log line here, and it's a story about a dystopian commune where everyone is a clone of the one surviving human on Earth.
What the fuck?
That sounds fucking great.
That's
Right?
That's a prequel?
Yeah.
That sounds like the end of the world.
The end of the timeline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's giving that like throwback RPG vibes that I've kind of been craving. With obviously the modern sensibilities, and I don't know what it is about the town builder mechanics that just look like a fun time. And one of the things that I was watching too in one of the dev diaries is when you go on like these different missions, you'll recruit people to fight with you in combat. And then when you're done with those missions, sometimes they won't tell you, but sometimes their purpose is to stay as a combatant in your kind of rotating troop of combatants. And sometimes their role is to just permanently go back to your town and fulfill a need in your town, right? So you might be able to you might like pick up a shopkeeper on a mission and they'll fight with you on that particular mission or whatever. But when you get back to town, they're like, all right, deuces, this is not my life. I just want to open up a damn bakery. You know what I mean? And then that's it. That's their role. And I think that's kind of interesting, where they all fulfill that same role in the beginning, but not necessarily in the end. And I thought that's kind of a fascinating mechanic.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
What an interesting thing. I'm so curious to hear how that goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for it. Other than that, really, I mean, I know we talked about Outer Worlds too. Kind of like Eric, I'm very mildly excited for Kirby Air Riders. I was really excited for it in the beginning. But it's one of those things from like if I had to look at the pecking order of things that I still need to play, I was a big fan of Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube, but I don't remember it much. I just remember how much fun I had playing it. So I'm sure eventually I'll get to that, but it's probably not going to. It's probably going to get punted to 2026.
Yeah.
As far as like games that I do want to get back to, I gotta sing praises. I know I've mentioned it on a few podcasts before, but first Berserker Kazan. If you are into Souls games and you have not played First Berserker Kazan, I think it's a mandatory, kind of like a Lies of P, where I remember playing Lies of P and going, this is like the best representation of a Souls game not made by From Software. I think First Berserker Kazan does a really, really good job capturing that same feeling. Eric, I know you play a decent amount of those games. Have you played Kazan at all or checked it out?
No, I was very like whatever about that game. It looked like I've seen cool gameplay. I've heard people say good things about it, but like the name, the art style, everything about it was like so fucking generic to me that I was like, oh, so this is like something that came out on like the PS2 is like what it looks like. It felt like that. But I've heard great things. Yeah. So I'm not gonna like shit on the game, but that was like the whole presentation as a whole was like, and then I had a talk with somebody in chat about this recently. Like I'm definitely like a purist when it comes to like, I really only fully enjoy Souls likes made by FromSoft. I've tried other ones and they just bounce off me. And I don't know what if it's just that little spice of jank that FromSoft leaves in. Like they polished out all of the rough edges, and I'm like, no. I want that. I don't know what it is, but that I've always had issues with Souls likes. I like when Souls likes are, they do have some different ideas and whatnot, but the ones that I have played, they just kind of bounce off. But I'd be interested if I ever get it for free or something like that.
Yeah.
I think the one non-FromSoft game that like really grabbed me was Mortal Shell.
Oh, I never played Mortal Shell.
That had a cool mechanic of like actually jumping into different shells and those being like your new kit instead of having to actually deal with your specific weapon, armor, and all that.
Yeah. Isn't there a sequel coming out for that one?
Yes.
I think there was a sequel announced for that one.
It is coming soon. 2026.
Yeah.
Oh, did you just say that, Eric? My bad. Oh, I totally missed it. It was right over my head.
No, it's all good. Yeah, the art style in that, like they were like, all right, what if Dark Souls but darker Souls? Like,
Darker Souls.
Yeah, because I get those vibes, Eric, because I kind of felt the same way prior. It wasn't until I watched the Kind of Funny review where they were like, no, like give this a shot. It is a very good representation of what a Souls like. And it's also, I don't know if it was just maybe the muscle memory was gone, but when I was playing it earlier this year, because I think it came out in January or February, it is punishingly difficult, like more than any Souls game that I remember playing. So I'm excited to now kind of go back to it with more of that experience this year under my belt, and play it again. So definitely check out First Berserker Kazan. I'm excited to get to it over the holiday. And then another Souls like I want to get back to, I know I always say it, is I really want to jump back into Night Rain. I feel like I didn't give it a fair enough amount of time. I know a lot of people I play games with are all on different platforms. Unfortunately, it's not. It doesn't have any cross-play mechanic, which is a super bummer. But the cool thing is it's not a live service. No. You're getting live service support. Maybe you're not getting the amount of content, but I feel like it's one of those things that I can jump into at the end of the year and not feel like I missed out on a trillion things. You know, they've added harder versions of the same bosses that are already in there, and that's pretty much it. And I know there's downloadable characters that are coming soon, so that should be really fun as well. You guys played, Phil? I feel like you played Night Rain, right?
Phil played it a lot.
Yeah.
I played it a decent amount. I have like 40 hours probably. It's a good game. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, I'm glad it exists for the reason that I wanted it to exist, which is like if my brother-in-law wants to play and I don't have time to set up a randomizer in Elden Ring, I can just hop into that.
Yeah.
But if you want a better version of Night Rain though, do a seamless co-op randomized run of Elden Ring, because holy shit, it's crazy.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've always wanted to do one of those, because the Night Rain loop, like as a person who is not a pro gamer, it was definitely a thing where I would start to realize when the run was already lost, and you start to just get in your head like, well, I guess I could just quit and start over, or I can just go through this boss and not really
knowing it's over.
Yeah.
And that is one of the frustrating parts about it, because it's like they're 45-minute runs. Like you're in for the long haul. You know what I mean? So
whereas with the Elden Ring randomizer, you can save and come back. It's full Elden Ring. It's just everything has been mixed up, which is super fun.
I have to check that out. And then last one I want to shout out before we pack it up is I did complete Hollow Knight. I finally bit the bug. No pun intended. Full pun intended. But I did complete Hollow Knight. I totally understand it now. So I do want to go. I really want to check out Silksong. Not like be one of the 60-hour, 112% sickos, but just to see through the mainline storyline and have that experience and have that conversation. I do want to jump back into that world. So I know Silksong has been kind of divisive in terms of, what it's done for fans of Hollow Knight, as well as what it's done with the general video game populace.
It? I'm like completely out of the loop on that. I was like, people are like, I liked Hollow Knight, I like Silk Song, and that's basically like the beginning and end of it.
I feel like you're either shitting on it or you're like absolutely enamored with it. That's the vibe I've gotten with the conversation around Silk Song
games.
Yeah.
One of those games.
Yeah. I mean, obviously overwhelmingly positive, like from a press standpoint, the reviews are great. Obviously you're going to have some negative ones thrown in there, but I feel like the overall community is just, I don't even want to say split down the middle. I think there's just very loud detractors.
Yeah.
Classic. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's all I got, guys. I think we'll put a pin in it there. I hope we can all get to these games. I hope that we all I hope you all don't experience FOMO the way that I do, because I know there's so many games that will probably also come out and be like out of left field and be like, oh god, you got to check this one out, and be like, shit, this just threw a wrench in all my plans. But
hey, dude,
I
Alan
really
Wake 2 on my backlog to this
there you
day.
go. Everyone will always have those like backlog of shame where you're just like, it's almost like a badge of honor that I haven't played it yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll call it there, guys. Fellas, I really appreciate you joining me today. Before we get out of here, I want to talk to you guys. Where can the people find you? What are you working on these days? If nothing, no pressure. Don't freak out. It's totally fine. Nate, where can the people find you?
Heroic Headgear everywhere. TikTok and the big one, Twitch right now. Like I said earlier, I am chugging along at Dead Space, doing that helmet giveaway. I am sanding the helmet currently. That is a long and grueling task, but that should be done by the end of the month. And there's only about, I think, 15 people in the giveaway so far, so odds are pretty good for anyone that still wants to jump in there. That's twitch.tv/Heroic Headgear.
Am I entered in that competition?
Who
could say?
Yes.
Who could say? I really want that helmet, you guys. So I'm going to ask you to back off.
It looks sick.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
It looks really sick. Awesome. Phil, what about you, my friend? Where can the people find you?
You can find me at 70percentcomplete.com. You can also check out the podcast. We just put out our episode. It is not as much of a upbeat fun time as this one is. It was about data privacy, which is a weird thing for a gaming podcast to talk about, but so it goes. I'm also working on a Avowed video. I think I've talked about it literally every episode that we've been doing here. But I have started making stop motion assets for that. So if you want to get a sneak peek at that, join the Discord stay tuned to the YouTube. It's getting buck wild.
It is getting buck wild. Oh my God.
Eric, what kind of buck wild shit do you got going on, my friend?
If you want to hear me have a fucking freak out about how Emily is Away is written about my actual high school experience, you can go check out that episode of Short Game Long Talk that just came out. Because holy shit, I literally had to stop because I was getting triggered because of the emotional shit that was happening to me in that game, that I was like, this is exactly what happened to me. That was an amazing episode. Go check that out. It's for our 3-year anniversary, which is super crazy. And if you want to go watch me play, like, I'm probably still streaming Bloodborne on Twitch, Mr. the Human Plays. And then every fucking Monday, it's Uma Musume. If you want to watch me race horse girls and turn them into fucking wizards that make everybody slow as shit. It's hilarious. But yeah, and then go check out all the other stuff. If you want to keep up to dates, it's cody.pika.page. Like we said earlier, there's, all of our stuff is there. All the socials are there. But Gianni, what about you? Where's your stuff?
Yeah, and if you don't know already, my name is Gianni. You can find me, Gianni DiCrossa, on all streaming platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. I'm the only one on the internet, so just look up my first name, last name, Gianni DiCrossa. I am this month in October. I am streaming 4 days a week at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm streaming Alien Isolation and Bloodborne. I don't want to give away too much on some of the YouTube content that I'm putting out because I want some of it to be a little bit of a surprise. But make sure you go check me out on Twitch. I am streaming 4 days out of the week. It's a very fun time in there. You can watch me freak out and somehow manage to scrape by beating some of these Bloodborne bosses. So make sure you go look at that. Also, like Eric said, make sure you give us give us a follow in the Discord, cody.pika.page. That's where you're going to be able to engage with all 4 of us here, as well as other creators in our community. So we hope to see you there on the corner of the internet Discord. Guys, I think it's that time. I'm going to get out of here. I will see you guys next time. Tell the people bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
We all waved. Oh, shit.
You missed it.